Hi, I'm Dr. Roger Elmer from Advanced Neurospinal Solutions. I am a chiropractor, a fellow of the International Chiropractic Scoliosis Board, and a diplomate in the American Board of Chiropractic Neurology. And today what I'd like to discuss is what I tend to talk about in terms of what I call the cause that we have here in this office. What we've been doing for the last 17 years really, and what that cause really is for us. Because for us it's really not a job, it's more of an adventure, but it's also a crusade to help people who can't be helped in any other way. We've been taking care of for the last 17 years, like I say, difficult cases, people who've been off of work for 10 years, people who've multiple failed back surgeries, people who are what I call medical wreckage. The medical establishment has run out of possibilities and answers, and very often even their specialists are throwing up their hands and saying, we're just going to have to give you some pain meds, and you're just going to have to tolerate this for the rest of your life. And that's when we get started. The patients that we've been seeing, many of them are on the verge of suicide. We have many also who have already tried suicide and decided they wanted to live. And so they wanted a life that was worth living. And so they wound up in our office looking for some kind of movement in their lives, some kind of feelings of enjoyment and abundance and value in their lives. And so we've been doing that for the last 17 years. We've done this through the Pettibon system. Then later on we modified the Pettibon system to be work with the individual planes to help get the patient farther than we could with the initial three-dimensional model, and then end in three-dimensional system. And that's where we really started taking on more of the role with scoliosis patients, and that's where I've been doing research in terms of taking care of difficult scoliosis patients, and then becoming, over the last 6 years, getting involved with the Carrick Institute and doing a neurology program with them, and becoming like I say, a board certified chiropractic neurologist specializing in the functional neurological approach. But if there was anything that we do in here, it is a receptor-based therapy system that we do, whether it's in the Pettibon system, structural correction, or whether we're utilizing the functional neurological approach, or whether we're stimulating the system through functional medicine. Those approaches all are receptor-based and receptor-driven. However it is that we do it, we are working to get the system to do its job, and we're working with, like I say, the most difficult cases, and those are including cases neurologically, like we've been working with Parkinson's and MS, but it includes all other neurological disorders like multiple systems atrophy, all the movement disorders, the difficult challenges that patients face with Arnold-Chiari malformation, syringomyelia, post-polio, and autoimmune disorders. Many of my patients, about 60 to 80% of my patients at any given time, before they get to me, they've already developed an autoimmune disorder because they no longer tolerate what's on the outside world. Their brain is broken down. Because the structure breaks down enough, then the brain breaks down, and because the brain breaks down, the functions that the brain does starts to break down, and as that breaks down, then we wind up not trusting the things from the outside world, becoming more and more intolerant. We call that allergy. When I was a kid, now it's insensitivities, and now then it develops into I no longer tolerate my own tissue, and I begin to attack it, and which is an inflammation fest, inflammation farm. Anything that we do is going to trigger inflammation. That's what we did a video just recently on autoimmune season, that summer is difficult for autoimmune patients because it adds fire to the fire, the inflammation. So, but our cause is to help people that nobody else can help in a way that nobody else can help them. And we're working in a way that combines the best of structural correction, the best of functional neurology, and the best of functional medicine to approach that resolution. And our cause is every day the patient is our concern, our main concern. We're focused on that patient because, like I say, whenever I talk to doctors and teach them how to do this, I tell them that being in a clinic, utilizing Pedavon's system and functional neurology and functional medicine, every day is an adventure because every patient is different and every patient is different every day. But if you're in that kind of life and you're wondering what you have to live for, what do I do anymore? This is a place where this is a haven for patients like you, and we're here to truly care for you and to do what needs to be done for you. If you have any more questions about this, about our cause, what the cause is, all of my staff is committed to that. And what's very interesting about my staff too, that each one of them has their own story. From our front office staff, who is just turned 40, and now by the time she came to see me, she had been disabled for 10 years. And in a year and a half, we progressed her to the point where she now works for me full time. She's able to do that. We're still working on her. We're still progressing her, but she is able to take a very high stress front office. We're a pretty intense office. Then each of my chiropractic assistants, each one of them has their own difficulties with their structure, with the breakdown of the brain, and with the breakdown, particularly with them, with the hormonal system and so it's very exciting. Of course, I have my own story, which I'll have a video on that also, but very, very exciting. And you'll notice too, when in our office, it's a very family oriented place and very fun and fun loving and if you're looking for the very buttoned down and the very, very orderly, organized structure, we try to maintain that as much as we can. But if you're looking for a regular medical office and you want to sit in the waiting room for 10 hours, this isn't the place. My patients get to know each other and they help each other, encourage each other. It's a very therapeutic environment, and we truly care about you and doing what would be best for you. And go ahead and call us if you have any more questions, because I'll be happy to do another video, or if you'd like to set up an appointment to discuss with us what we could potentially be doing for you. Thank you very much.